I propose a united state of Russia and Iran, Dugin claims, written by geopolitical analyst Alexander Dugin. Dugin points out that only the creation of the United States between Russia and Iran, following the model of the Russia-Belarus alliance, can prevent the U.S. from attacking Iran, an attack that is instigated by and fueled by neoclass and pro-Israel interests, he says. The escalation of the conflict between the U.S. and Iran is a fact. President Trump is, as expected, shifting the priorities of the U.S. foreign policy, he says. For the previous U.S. administration, for Biden and his fellow globalists, wokeists, the main priority was the war with Russia and Ukraine. For Trump, Israel is much more important, and consequently, the conflict between Israel and Iran has an immediate priority. The U.S. is increasingly involved in this war, resulting in escalation and threats from both sides between Washington and Tehran, increasingly intensifying. So far, the conflict is limited only to an exchange of verbal threats, mainly from Trump, who is already threatening Iran with systematic bombing and complete destruction of the country. But Iran is not Afghanistan nor Iraq. It is a particularly close-knit and homogeneous society, and the start of an immediate devastation war with Iran, which Israel so desires and wishes, and which Netanyahu is pushing Trump, could turn into a fatal trap for Trump. This situation could seriously weaken Trump's position, even among his own supporters. A significant part of the MAGA Make America Great Again base, on which Trump is based, supports Trump because he presents himself as a pacifist. One of Trump's key promises to his voters was that he would end all aggressive wars. Of course, not all of his supporters feel this way, but I believe that more than half of Trump's voters feel this way. Therefore, if Trump starts a new major aggressive war, which, by the way, he will not be able to win, it could mean first his discrediting and then his downfall. And of course, the U.S. would attack and inflict a significant and very painful blow on Iran, but it is categorically incapable of winning this war. Dugin says the conflict would turn into a protracted, exhausting confrontation with a no way out. And this is precisely why the neoconservatives who still remain around Trump, together with the representatives of the pro-Israel lobby, which is very powerful in the U.S., are pushing him into this dangerous conflict to bring about his political end, undermining domestic mass popular support, and this is extremely dangerous. For now, Tehran is reacting rather calmly and prudently. On the one hand, it emphasizes the inadmissibility of military blackmail against a sovereign state, but on the other, it avoids unnecessarily provoking the Americans, agreeing to negotiate on the nuclear issue. This in a context where it is known that Israel, Iran's main regional rival, has possessed nuclear weapons for a long time. So since Israel has nuclear weapons, why shouldn't Iran? Why these measures and double standards? Here is a reasonable question that arises, but there is no logical answer to this argument. Although the Iranian authorities have insisted for many years that their nuclear program is entirely for peaceful purposes, some thoughts about nuclear weapons exist, as is quite natural among the Iranians, and rightly so, especially under the current circumstances where they are constantly threatened by nuclear-armed states, that is the most aggressive state in the Middle East, Israel, with the support of the also nuclear-armed Americans. Therefore, the question arises, who should Iran rely on in such a dangerous situation? Many things would change if Iran embraced the idea of creating a single state with Russia, on the model of our union with Belarus, but the writer is from Russia. But the Iranian authorities are not yet ready for such a thing, although it may be the only way to avoid war. In any case, in this emergency, one must act in a pioneering manner, and whoever acts less pioneering and groundbreaking will most likely lose. Therefore, if I were in Iran's place, I would take the looming threat seriously. War is quite possible and could break out very suddenly and very soon, and so a simple strategic agreement is not enough like the one recently signed between Russia and Iran, but the very idea of creating a single state together with Russia. And this could have been the saving step. One must act decisively when faced with such an acute existential problem. And this is from Geopolitica. And I don't know, what do you think about this? Will this happen? I don't think so, but let's see. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.